It's BumbleKast Mini, sponsored by Hedgehog2234.
Let's get started. A quote that sticks with me even years after I played Sonic Unleashed was when Sonic had asked Chip, "Do I need a reason to want to help out a friend?" What are some quotes that have stuck with the two of you, Sonic or otherwise?
Do or do not. There is no try.
That's a good one. Yeah. I can do it. I can do it 9 times. That's also an answer. That's also an answer for another question later on in this episode.
There was a bit from Q in one of the Bond movies that stuck with me where he says,
Yeah.
"Never let them see you bleed." And
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I took that one to heart.
Yeah. This baby reaches 88 miles per hour. You're going to see some serious shoot. Right there. You're going to see some serious Yeah.
The entirety of the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Ninja kick the damn rabbit. Do something!
Cricket? Man, nobody understands cricket. You gotta know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. Here, I'll teach you. Whack. See that? 7 runs.
Boy.
Let a freak. I got work to do. Freak! Freak!
Can you just recite the whole movie?
Actually, my brother-in-law queued it up on Netflix the other day, and yeah, I'm quoting it start to finish, and he's giving me these looks like, how long has it been since you saw this? It's like, a few years.
Yesterday.
Good thing these guys aren't lumberjacks. No joke. The only thing safe would be the trees.
God, I love that movie.
You fight well in the old style, but now you face the shredder.
That's a great quote. I remember that one because it's at the beginning of a metal remix of Shredder's final boss theme from Turtles in Time by Danimal Cannon. And it's like, oh no, that's a Sixto Sounds remix of that song, not Danimal Cannon's. He uses that quote, and it's like, ooh. Then the guitar's kicking. It's like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah, good stuff. How long would Frieza humor Dr. Eggman, if at all?
Considering if they ever got a chance to meet amicably, I think they'd get along fine for a little bit. You know, the destruction of vast swaths of the land, enslaving other people, lording over them. 2 peas in a pod.
For a little bit, yes. Eggman doesn't get along with anybody, though, eventually. Like, he'll start, but...
neither would Frieza, so...
Yeah, that's a good point.
They'd get along all right for a while, and I really want to see a Toriyama-style Death Egg robot.
Yeah.
Use a Frieza tech as, like, the basis. Yeah,
that'd be neat. Look pretty awesome, yeah. That would be cool.
Sadly, Eggman would try to bite off more than he could chew, attempt to overthrow Frieza with the tech he has stolen from the Frieza Force, and then Frieza would atomize it, because he's Frieza. Come on now.
Yeah. Next question. Favorite Mega Man character? Argue about who's better and why.
I have to pick one.
I know, it's hard.
I love them all.
It's so delightful. They're wonderful. I mean, if we're going to talk comic exclusive characters, like, no question, Tempo, Quake Woman.
Yeah, but that's the easy out.
Well, yeah, that's if we're talking comic characters. Like, if we included the comics in this, she would be my easy favorite. But if we're just talking games, then I don't know, man.
And we're limiting ourselves just to classic, because otherwise...
Okay, if you say so.
Otherwise.
Yeah, we'll just say classic. We'll go with classic.
God. Toss up between Blues and Wily, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
But then I immediately want to follow it up with, and yet there's also...
I want to love Roll, but she doesn't get enough time in the games. She needs more. I need more Roll. But if we're going by comics, then yeah, she's fantastic there, at least. So at least there's that. But in the game, she doesn't get a lot of time to shine. Yeah, I mean, Blues is great. He's just edgy enough without being obnoxious about it. I kind of get him. I get why he's the way he is, you know? It makes sense. Makes sense. What's a food that sounded good on paper but wasn't good when you tried it? Ambrosia for me. Fruit salad. You'd think, but then they had to add the fruit to it. It's like, come on. What is up with that? You put in this pineapple and the what's it called? Tangerines? Not tangerines. The other things, the not oranges, but they're almost kind of oranges. I'm totally blanking on what they're called.
Clementines?
Yes,
Mangoes?
There we go. Clementines. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really a citrus guy. I like regular oranges, but any other citrus I'm just not really into. And then the pineapple, it's like, come on. Come on. I can't do it. Can't do it.
It's hard for me to say because I'm not very adventurous when it comes to food.
Yeah.
And my palate has only really expanded within the last 10, 20 years. So a lot of it's more of, maybe I'll try this. Oh, wait, this is good.
Mm-hmm. See? Sometimes food is delicious.
I'm not going to try too many crazy combos or go outside of my comfort zone unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah. Well, here's one. We got one from the chat here saying, Ian only eats chili dogs as per the new Sega mandate. It's like, actually, no, you don't eat chili dogs. You never even had one?
No, I never had an actual chili dog, no.
Well, you're fired. Seeing as you enjoy breaking into the occasional strong bed voice, would a themed Q&A be something you're interested in?
I don't know if I could do that for a solid half hour.
Yeah.
It's debatable that I do it well to begin with.
Hey, yo!
But, I mean, if that's what people want to hear, who am I to refuse?
Could have some fun with it. It would be silly, but it would be fun. Favorite character voices to imitate? I think we know Ian's.
I'm partial to Kermit the Frog. It's just a comfy voice.
Well, I mean, it's kind of easy for you.
Well, that too, but it's just I like Kermit in and of itself. So
yes, Kermit is delightful.
It frustrates the hell out of me though that I can't do Fozzie. Like
Yeah.
I love Fozzie Bear. I feel like I am Fozzie Bear half the time. And I can't do it.
Waka waka.
I can't. And it's Frank Oz. You would think if I could do other Frank Oz type voices, I could be in the same, neck of the woods, but can't do it. Cannot find it.
I'm not particularly adept at impressions too much, but I do have a fun time breaking out, get to the chopper! Things like that. But it's like obviously not, I can't do his voice. I can't do a good Schwarzenegger really, but I also
am partial to the Dr. Claw voice.
Oh God!
Just because I can drop that without any preparation, and it always gets a reaction out of people.
Oh yeah. Yes, Dr. Claw. Your Dr. Claw voice is delightful in that frightening kind of way. Yeah. All right, we got another question. Are there any podcasts or listenable shows on YouTube you two like to partake in when time allows? I'm running out of things to have on in the background while staring off into space.
I don't have a lot of time to listen to stuff. I don't hear Nitro Game Injection nearly as much as I want to. It's like something always conspires on Friday and I'm busy.
That's why I record it for later so you can watch it and listen to it later. You don't watch it, you listen to it.
But I want to be there live. I want to support the show, and it's like I'm never around when it's on, which is a personal failing on my part.
That's not. No, it's not.
One thing I did manage to get through is a Star Wars fan radio drama called Mud 79 by fearless Fred Kennedy, and it's told from the perspective of a like grunt level conscript on like the fringes of space and how the early empire got started and kind of got into people's heads. It's really neat, and I'm looking forward to when season 2's done.
Mm-hmm. one that I go back to is the Completely Unnecessary Podcast, hosted by Pat the NES Punk and his buddy Ian, coincidentally. And it's just them. They mainly talk about stuff, video game related stuff in the news. A lot of retro game coverage, especially. They have that's in television. Amico saga with them is pretty glorious and hilarious. God, Amico was such a train wreck, and they were there. They had a front row seat for the whole thing, and it was a freaking wild journey. So yeah, I enjoy me some CU podcast. I will say it's not a family friendly show, so if you're language averse, don't listen to that one. And there's another YouTube channel that I listened to. It's not really something that you can just listen to necessarily. Sometimes there's video components to it, but it's called GTV Japan. And it's an American guy who lives in Japan who does a lot of documentary stuff about video games in Japan, and sort of highlighting some of the differences of like between the cultures, and like how like we know the story about like the launch of Super Nintendo and NES and stuff in America, but how was it when it launched in Japan? It's not something that's really something that Western audiences would know so much about, and he kind of helps bridge the gap. So it's a really fascinating show. You can mostly listen to it, but I mean sometimes there's some visual aids and stuff. But yeah, it's a really good channel worth checking out, I think. And next question: do you think Eggman still has a secret fondness for his Adventures of theme song? I mean, who doesn't?
It was a good theme song. I mean, it is his, so of course he likes it.
I mean,
even if he doesn't like it, if you talk bad about it, he's going to smite you because it's his.
Who do you think wrote it? He hummed it in his spare time. He's like, that's pretty good. Recently, I played a Sonic fan game that involves an open world where you play as Big. Aside from Sonic and Knuckles, what other characters do you think would benefit from an open world style game?
Honestly, after playing Frontiers, I kind of want to see everybody.
Give it a shot. I was going to say, you could probably make the case for just about anyone.
Like, can you imagine a variation on Amy's SA1 style in Frontiers?
Yeah.
Start booking it, and then you hammer flip up onto a rail that was too high to normally jump to, spinny hammer float down, combat with the hammer.
Man, that would be so cool.
Tails just free flight and explore stuff. He might break the islands as they are, but in general, Silver, I think, would really benefit from it, because you could take a slower pace to exploring the island and maybe focus on physics puzzles using dedicated psychokinesis type stuff. But it's just nigh upon anybody. Like, the only ones I can immediately think of that wouldn't necessarily work are the Babylon Rogues, and that's because their gameplay is geared directly for racing, not really exploration. But I don't know, get them off the boards and see what they can do. I'm open to anything.
I would see like Rouge would probably have a similar gameplay to Knuckles, I guess, but their treasure hunting would be a lot of fun, and maybe you could also mix in some spy aspects, like sneaks around, sneaks into places and stuff like that. That would be fun. I'm also imagining a game that takes place in the Soul Dimension where you play as Blaze, and it's a big open world with various islands that you can go between. That would be freaking cool.
Imagine Frontiers gameplay, but just with fire.
Yes, please. More fire. Good fire. Yes, fire good. I don't care what. I don't care what James says.
I think Frontiers is kind of proven you can have a fun Sonic sandbox like that, and all the characters are various iterations off of Sonic's core moveset. So
yes, let me play with all the toys, Sega. I want the toys. Do you think there's any merit to writing as you go along, like a famous author Akira Toriyama, or should writers try to plan things out instead?
I think it depends on the project and what you're trying to do with it. Toriyama didn't write Dragon Ball or any of his projects in a void. He had editors and other folks weighing in on it. So it wasn't like just purely him writing on his own. But if you want to just kind of spin out on that and see where the story takes you and not be too concerned about what you're doing with it, let yourself have that creative freedom, that's perfectly fine. I can't do that. I am physically unable. I have to plot things out. I have to know where I'm going. I have to know where I've been. And then I get lost in the weeds as I see all the other possibilities. I need a structure for myself just to help with my pacing, and just that's how my brain do. But I don't think either way is inherently better than the other. I think writing without any pre-planning runs the risk of bumping into continuity errors. But if you're paying attention to what you're doing and where you've been, you can still build off of that without necessarily tripping yourself up. So, yeah, it all depends on what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah, you run the risk of writing yourself into a corner. But, I mean, you also kind of do that even when you plan things out sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You don't realize It's like, whoops, maybe shouldn't have gone that way. Oh, well. That's why they made rough drafts. By some miracle, you're given free reign to choose and write to fit whatever cast of characters you want in Poker Night at the Inventory 3. Who do you pick, and what kind of witty or serious interactions would you like to see between this cast of characters?
Oh, man. So, for those who don't know, Poker Night at the Inventory is a poker game, clearly, but they pull major video game characters or video game adjacent characters and have them play. You're at the table with these characters like Sam and Max, heavy weapons guy from Team Fortress 2, GLaDOS,
just
Ash from Evil Dead.
Yeah, big pop culture.
He was from a game.
Yeah, but it's mostly like pop culture because you got what's his name from Venture Brothers was in one of them.
Oh, Brock Sampson, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brock, yeah.
Strong Bad was in there, so
yeah,
it's kind of just like who would be fun to have. It's a hodgepodge fanficky approach almost. And
yes,
I only played the first one and loved it. I just never got around to the other one.
Yeah.
Let's see who at the table. Well, obviously Eggman. I mean, Mike Pollock threatening people over his card bluff. Come on. He goes all in and bets the keys to the Death Egg.
I like how the Death Egg has keys. Does it also have a remote that goes boop when you arm the alarm? I hope so.
It looks like the Eggmobile, absolutely. Little headlight turns on and everything.
Fantastic.
I want to say Zhang Li at a Genshin Impact just to listen to Keith Silverstein be impossibly smooth, especially unflappable in the face of Eggman. Good God. I'd run out of hard drive space just writing those two. Oh. I'm going to cheat and say Callie and Marie, the Squid Sisters from Splatoon. Callie's the one playing. Marie has no interest in potentially losing her money, but she has to keep an eye on Callie because she has no poker face.
Well, no.
I imagine at some point Eggman, like she wins a hand somehow, and Eggman's like, "Are you counting cards?" And she's like, "Is that a problem? I mean, there's only 52."
Would she still have squid language? Would she still be speaking in squid language but have subtitles? Okay, good. And everyone would understand her perfectly.
They would understand them, and then they would complain about having to read the subtitles, and then Marie would say something that is not family friendly, and the subtitles drop out.
Yeah.
And maybe just because it's topical, but I kind of like to see Kratos at the table.
Which one?
Well, that's the thing. Like, current Kratos would be fun in that very severe, deadpan, he's threatening even when he's winning type of thing.
Yeah, he wouldn't take Eggman's crap, though.
No, and it would be great.
Yeah.
And, he's known for killing gods. So what is his exchange with, Zhongli the Archon? Just, oh my God. But I'd also like to see an unlockable version of original trilogy Kratos. And like all of his dialogue is changed to be way more threatening and way more antagonistic.
I mean, either one could work. Man, there's so much fun to be had with that. Yeah, I freaking adore those games. I really need to play the second one. I did not play it.
Honorable mention goes to Banjo and Kazooie.
Oh, that would be fun too.
Where they're talking about how they really need to make money back since Yuka and Laylee stole their gig.
God, love me some fourth wall breakage.
They can start talking to Callie and Marie about speaking through subtitles because no one can understand them normally. And then Kazooie and Marie both drop the subtitles so they can start talking some really nasty smack and nobody gets it. They're laughing. They totally get it. And Kelly's like, no, wait, what are you saying? And Banjo's like, just don't. Just play the game. Keep your head down.
Yes. I love this. I want this. Valve, hire this man. All right, you two, give me your best or worst out-of-context quotes from Homestar Runner. I'm on the fence about diving into this gem of internet culture and need that extra push. Chat, give some ideas to the two as well. Sure, if you guys got any funny ones.
Sorry, I must have a toenail stuck in my throat. Hey, Reggie, have you seen the rhinoceros?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Lady Freedom, let's make out.
Your hot single mom is going to want to date my time capsule. Oh, there's two of them.
This fine bag of delicious bag will make a fine sock for the colder of my 2 feet.
My mouth was a broken JPEG.
Where are my lasers at?
Where are my lasers at, y'all?
So old school, 1 2 1 2. They tore the school down, 1 2 1 2.
Hey, Strong Bad, I'm inside your house. Oh, that sucks.
With the savings that Blue Laser earns at the sale, they could use it to, buy a laser that screws with the weather or makes it snow at the beach. But what about beach volleyball? There won't be any beach volleyball, soldier.
No! The good times are over.
You can't shoot and you can't fly. If you came with us, you'd probably die.
God, I freaking love G Commando so much. If you lived here, you'd have less non-crushed bones and more crushed spirits.
Steiny, get me a Danish.
Hey, Steve. Dentist, chugga chugga wugga. Deli style, chugga chugga wugga. De La Soul, chugga chugga wugga.
I mean, we could probably do this for another half hour, so I think you get the idea.
Probably could. I can do it 9 times. The first one to eat 1 million wins. Don't do that. Please don't eat 1 million Fluffy Puff marshmallows. Please don't.
Sunday. Awesome Cross 96. You may now return from the edge of your seat.
That's such a good one. All right, next question. What's a game both of you would like to forget just so you can play it for the first time again?
I know I'm a broken record, but Skies of Arcadia.
Mm-hmm. I figured.
Just to experience the joy and wonder of that again.
Yeah. I feel like mine is kind of like the normie answer at this point, but Spec Ops The Line. It's not a fun game. It's not fun in the slightest, but man, is it, I don't know. It's just It's one of those. It's one of those.
If you know, you know.
It's one of those experiences that, like, it's just not a thing you can experience really more than once, I feel like. But it's yeah.
The first 2 Arkham games.
God, I have not played this.
Just a delight.
I have not played the second one, but the first one was really fun. Yeah.
Second one's better.
I figured as much. As
first
far
one
as
is good.
What everyone says.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the second one is better in every regard. And that's saying something, because the first one was really, really good. But the second one just
yeah.
Goodness. Third one, your mileage may vary.
Oh, I got one. Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
such a fantastic game. Like, definitely want to play that one again.
Halo ODST.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Primarily for the in-between sections as you're going through New Mombasa and you're uncovering the kind of subplot as you go through. The rest of the game's okay. But the music alone, that really moody, bluesy music in the rain as you're going through the city at night and piecing together what's ultimately a murder mystery all on your own. That was a good experience. I'm getting tingles thinking about it. That was just a neat experience. It wasn't your typical Halo game. It was different enough. It was neat.
I have not played it. I've barely played any Halo, actually. I need to change that, I know. But it's weird because I, like, own the first one. I don't know what I'm doing.
And to a lesser extent, I would say Halo Reach. The game itself was fine. It's the very, very last mission you're given that gets me. It really got me the first time through. It's like, oh, wow. So that first time reaching that point.
Yeah.
That'd be worth going through it all over again just to get to that point.
I like Portal. God, Portal would be a fun game to play for the first time again. Oh, and Portal 2 especially, but even the first one would be a good, just wipe out all the memes, wipe out everything about it, and just play it fresh.
Go in blind, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of along that line. Would have been fun to play Frontiers blind.
Well, you don't have that luxury.
No, but just like if I were able to play it from the perspective of someone who's just enjoyed the series up to that point.
Right. Oh, even as Ian Flynn now. If you could erase your entire career.
Yeah, Mirror Universe. I never got on the franchise.
It's goatee.
Picked it up now.
Goatee Ian Flynn.
Yeah. Man, that'd be a trip.
Oh, geez. God, there's another one. Go ahead.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a game that has become the template for video games. Like, the inspiration for video games now is like, oh yeah, Shadow of the Colossus. To a lesser extent, more recently, Breath of the Wild, and also apparently now Frontiers I'm getting like some real Death Stranding vibes in Frontiers. Have you noticed that? Am I the only one? A little bit. Like, it's not exactly the same, but there's something about it that's a little Death Stranding-y. Not story-wise, more like just the world.
I mean, you're not the first person I've heard say that, and I find that interesting.
It's not exactly one-to-one, but there's something about the vibe. So, I don't know. Maybe it's because I experienced it through you streaming it specifically. Just Death Stranding, that is.
Maybe.
So
wait, you're still playing, so just wait till you get to the part where Mad Mikkelsen confronts Sonic looking for his baby.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm ready. Spoiler alert. That doesn't happen. Then Sonic ends up in the void, and out comes Hideo Kojima. Oh boy. And I think that's good. Which evil group from Dragon Ball do you think would be better to work under, the Red Ribbon Army or the Frieza Forces? And out of the two, which one is your favorite overall?
I'd have to go with the Frieza Force. Because I want to explore the stars. I want to see alien worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, have the freedom to just travel interstellarly. And they can do that. The whole, genocide and oppression thing is not really optimal, but the travel would be great.
Get out there, see the worlds, enslave them all.
Meet new and interesting people and kill them. And from what we've seen of their infrastructure, the staff seems to be treated fairly well, eat well, dress well. It's fairly military in construct, but it's comfortable. So maybe Red Ribbon Army is just kind of pedestrian bad guys. I mean, we got enough of industrial complex nutters on the world as it is, and you might get kidnapped and turned into a cyborg. I don't want my squishy bits scooped out and replaced with gears, Kyle.
Are you talking about in the show or in real life?
Either.
Yes. All right, and our last question, which Pop-Tart flavor is the best and why? Argue about it. I don't know why. We can't argue about that. The only thing we can argue about is Stan Bush's The Touch. Ian don't got the touch.
You're going to run with that. I can see the passion in your eyes. You will run with that.
Yes, I will.
'Cause you're mad. Stay mad. Run with it.
Look at how mad I am. You don't got the power, though. You have no power. No.
And I have no Pop-Tarts because I don't like Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts are all right. They're junk. They're junk food, but they're they're fine. I like the frosted ones generally. I don't really have a preference. Honestly, they all taste kind of the same. But they are, I don't necessarily care for Pop-Tarts toasted. Like, honestly, just straight from the package is better. But, they're not that great.
So, sorry, we can't really argue over it because I don't partake and Kyle doesn't want to.
Not really, not right now. I mean, I don't get Pop-Tarts very often. I just kind of like, oh well. Let the chat argue about it as they are, or argue. They're arguing right now. Argue over it down in the comments.
Thank you to Hedgehog2234 for sponsoring this BumbleKast Mini. If you want one of your own, head over to patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or become a $25 member over at YouTube.
Just get donuts.